Alright, we're on to part 2 of the basic boiler maintenance video series, if you want to call it that. We just did the oil filter off the tank. Now we're on to the pump screen on my Riello burner. Now keep in mind, even if you don't have a Riello, the process is going to be the same or similar on Beckett and many others, okay? So go ahead and check it out. Now I do want to remind you though that this video and all of the videos I'm doing on this little playlist do not replace having a certified professional come in, doing a thorough diagnostics and tune up on your setup, okay? This is intended to do basic maintenance, cleaning, and filter replacements and nozzle, okay? Let's go ahead and get started on the pump screen. Alright, so first we're going to remove this burner cover, and to do that I've got 3 Phillips screws here, and it's actually not necessary to remove them all the way. Just need to loosen them up, and there's one on the other side here that you can't see yet. Okay, and then on this Riello burner, basically we're going to slide this right off. Okay, and you can see what I mean. They basically stay right in there, and then it's a slotted housing, so you can slide it back in. Okay, I'm going to reposition the camera because our pump is on this side here, on the left hand side, where the fuel oil enters the burner. Alright, even though I have the Firematic valve off at the tank, I'm going to shut this one off as well. And remember, it's clockwise to shut the valve off. And as a reminder, and again I covered this in the first video, if you haven't worked your valve in a while, just push down on it just to make sure that it closes, okay? Because it's sort of a spring-loaded mechanism, and with the fuel oil sludge and whatnot, it can tend to stick. And I've had them where you release this and the valve is not shut off, okay? This is our pump here, and I'm going to reposition the camera. We're going to pull this pump screen cap off, if you will. Alright, so I'm using a 5/32 inch bit socket, hex bit socket, but you could certainly use a regular Allen wrench also. Just makes it a little easier to get in by everything. Put some block in the view. Now, I'll be honest, I've never purchased a screen for this. I've always just cleaned them. There's a reason I purchased it for this job, and I'll talk about that when we get it out of here. Because you can buy them for pretty much next to nothing on eBay, right? But typically, you just clean them up. Works just as well. And again, I do have a catch pan underneath this pump. So I'm going to lose a little bit of oil here. And in some cases, you want to pay attention to the direction that the pump screen housing is mounted to the pump. It may make a difference on some pumps. Okay, so just take note of where everything is. For example, we've got this solenoid here. We've got an arrow just above it, so I know when I put it back on, that's how it's going to go. Okay, let's go ahead and take those out, put them in my catch pan here. Okay, and that's not real bad. Again, I probably did this 6 months ago, but I am going to replace it. Let's go take a quick look at it. Alright, let's take a quick look here. This screen is not bad at all. I've seen these screens caked right up with sludge, and it greatly reduces the pump pressure. As a matter of fact, I've had a surging situation where it was drawing oil through, and then the burner would run and then kick off, and then run and kick off, and it emulates a solenoid issue, and I'll show you where that is on this burner as well. But really the problem was that the screen was caked right up. Now I mentioned this will be the first time I've purchased a screen. What happened was, when I cleaned it two cleanings ago, I wasn't paying attention. I had the O-ring in place, and I used carburetor cleaner or brake cleaner or something, and it had an adverse effect on the O-ring. It elongated and thinned right out, so I couldn't use it. So the last cleaning I did over the summer, I decided I would buy a new screen. It comes with the O-ring, the filter, the screen, so it's not a bad thing. And it costs, I think, less than $5 on eBay, okay? Let's go get this thing put back in place, and then we'll move on to the burner nozzle. Okay, we're just going to wipe this down a little bit here. There shouldn't be really any sludge on this, at least this go around. And you can see that this screen just kind of fits right over that like that. You probably couldn't see it when I removed it. It kind of looks like it was set into the cap. And it is, because the cap comes down over that, but I just wanted to show you how that fits, okay? And I hate working with gloves, but kerosene, as you know, if you've ever done this, or if you've ever gotten any on you, once you get it on you, it's on you for the day, right? So remember I had the little arrow. I'm going to load up a couple of these screws here. Okay, now we're just going to put it on the correct way. My arrow was right by this solenoid. And I mentioned that the solenoid issue, which can happen. What happens is when your burner kicks off, the solenoid closes to sort of immediately shut off the fuel supply to the burner, right? Well, what can happen is if this solenoid becomes weak, it has a hard time staying open, and it shuts and opens and shuts and opens. And having the clogged screen that time, it actually mimicked that situation. I took it apart and saw the screen. I said, I think I know what it is. So, but that is something that can happen. But you always start with the least expensive and simplest things first, right? So you want to do your oil filter off the tank, which we've done, and then you want to do your screen. And I'll link to the parts at the bottom of all these videos. You know, the filter, the screen. The nozzle is going to be specific to your burner, and obviously the furnace or boiler that you're working on. So, okay, we're just going to crank these down, but don't overdo it, right? It's got a gasket. It has an O-ring now, so we should be good. And what we'll do is, when it's all said and done, when we fire up the burner, we'll just check everything for leaks, right? And if you have to crank it down a little bit after the fact, that's better than twisting off a screw in your pump, right? So hey, thanks for watching. Give me that thumbs up if you found this helpful. We're on to the nozzle next. That's right here. So I won't put the housing cover back on, the burner cover back on, and I'll add that to the end of this. It'll be basically a big playlist, so check it out, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this type of thing, and stay tuned for the next video. We're on to the nozzle right there.